Bonjour, Kinamagi Nene Ireland edition of Kas, and welcome to today's math enrichment lesson. Today's lesson, three-dimensional figures. Today I'm going to use our friend mathisfun.com from which to teach. And the first thing we see is a sphere. A sphere is a ball, a globe. So if you picture your kickball, a soccer ball, but not a football, those are spheres. They're round shapes like the sun. Another one we look at is a cylinder. A cylinder is like a soup can or can of corn or any other can that you might buy at the store. It has a circle for both bases, and then it's straight up and down. We're not going to worry about a torus. Over here we have a cone, and for a cone, picture an ice cream cone, just upside down. It has a circular base, and it comes to a point. A cube, if you picture a dice or a die, all the sides, well, assuming you get the right one, all the sides are squares. So there are 6 squares. And remember, we call these sides here edges with vertices. So we have 8 vertices. If I stretch this cube out to make it 4 of the sides a rectangle, that's what we call a rectangular prism. They're using the term cuboid here, but a rectangular prism is generally what we will use. You'll notice there's a square on the end and 4 rectangles that are all congruent going around the edge. You might picture a Kleenex box as a rectangular prism. Over here we have pyramid shapes, and we name our pyramids kind of based on the base. So if I had a triangle on the bottom and it comes up to 3, all 3 meet at one common vertice or vertex, we call it triangular prism. Quite often we have a square pyramid or a triangular pyramid. We should call it triangular prism as well, like this here. If it has a prism, I'll have this 3 sides, so it'll be drawn out. So 3 rectangles. On the square pyramid, I have a square base, and then I have 3-sided or pyramid shapes that meet at a common vertex. For a little bit more, let's check on the sphere. Notice these interesting things. It's perfectly symmetrical, which means no matter where I were to split it in half, it would be the same. No edges or vertices, corners. It is not a polyhedron. And you can see some more things that we might talk about. We don't want to go too far into that today. A cylinder, flat base and a flat top. The base and the top are the same. Has one curved side. You can see it kind of spinning around. You have this wooden peg. And we say an object that is shaped like a cylinder is said to be cylindrical. A cone, you can see it sliding around here, has a circle at one end, a point at the other. So it's the apex and the base. And we're set an object shaped like a cone is said to be conical. A cube has 6 faces, and that's what we call each of these sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if we get around, each of these squares are called faces. 12 edges. You see 1, 2, 3, 4. I spin it around. I have 5, 6, and then back on the back side would be 7 and 8, and then on this side I have 10, 11, and 12. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Each of these points where these meet are known as vertices or vertexes. Vertice is the plural of vertex. You see some examples. A cuboid, as we mentioned, is a rectangular prism. You can find the volume pretty easily by multiplying length times width times height. See some examples. Buildings. Can have square prisms as well, which we call a cube. We've just talked about that. Square pyramid. 5 faces, 4 side faces are triangles, and the base being a square. We're going to ask you to identify some shapes. At this point, return to the Google Classroom for your assignment. Minwap, Pamapi.